All right, so it's Inspiration Wednesday, and I'm at the part in my book, because I put 2 signatures in here, that the 2 signatures mean. It's always a little bit awkward, so I like to forcefully connect them. And I'm just going to use, I think I'm going to use my joint tape. And usually I just connect it like this across here. I guess I can wrap it around. And then kind of build on top of it, put some gesso and stuff. I could technically probably build it across the center. Should I see what that looks like? Why not? Let's see. I mean, that'll work. No one would be any the wiser. And I'll just kind of keep building that in there. And then I'll be back. So I did a whole lot of junking up. I put some regular tape and some some joint tape. And it basically just made this one kind of fleshy thing. The inclusions are in between each of the sections. And I told you I will definitely go into why there's that there. I just got to do a whole video on it. But it won't be today. But I will, I swear, I promise. Maybe next week, because I'm leaving for Europe, going to Sweden next week. So maybe that would be a good video to do. All right, anyway, I digress. Let's put some gesso all over this, and I've only used one of my new face stamps. I'm thinking maybe I'll put another one on there. Although I kind of like that, huh? Maybe I'll just put some gesso, see what happens. We'll go from there. All right, so I've got that gessoed and it's dry, and I want to use her today. Name of her is Falling Deep, so she's kind of like floating down. So I'm thinking like, you know, putting her down this one, maybe like down that way. Well, actually she'll be that way. Kind of putting her down, floating down that way. So I'm going to do, just like talking to myself, I have some paint here. I'm going to use some cobalt blue and some teal. I don't know why I'm working to the left. That's just weird. And some white. So I'm just going to make a little pile here on my palette pad. And some white. And then I'm going to use my paintbrush to put these on here kind of randomly. And then I'm going to take a stencil and wipe away some of the paint while it's still wet. Maybe I won't do the insides. At least I won't do them now. Not really sure what I want to do with it. So it should look like maybe she's underwater. You get the idea. Alright, so here, that's what I got. So now I'm going to take, where's my stencils? I wasn't sure which one to use. I think I might use this one. Maybe I'll use this one and then I don't know. I don't know. I'll just use this one. Such decisions. Okay, so I'm just going to take some baby wipes and put this down and kind of remove some of the color while it's still wet. Yeah, it's alright. Maybe I'll put a couple big ones on top of there. That might work. I'll put everything in the paint. That's just weird too. Alright, well I'll do this on the other side and then I'll come back and we'll stamp her on there. I'm not sure what I want to do with the background. I'm thinking I might whitewash it or something, but I just took a little bit of white into the color I have here, and I'm going to make a faint hue of that teal, a tint of that teal in here. Maybe instead of making a wash, I've already got that color kind of over here, maybe just putting some water in what I already have and watering it down and seeing what that does to this. Alright, so that's kind of dulled down a little bit. And I'm thinking I could ink this like I did my last one, but maybe just my Montana pen. So make sure it's activated nice and juicy. And I'm just going to color over her. I have no idea how this is going to stamp, so this is kind of fun to do on camera when you don't know what the results are going to be. So yeah, fun times, fun times. Do I even have to tell you how much I love her right now? I mean, honestly, she looks like she's underwater. That made me so happy. Okay, so, having a moment. I'm just gonna clean her off a little bit. If it was ink, I probably wouldn't bother, but because it's paint, I don't care if my stamp is dirty looking. I just don't want all the nooks and crannies to be filled in with paint. So I'm just gonna scrub her down with a little baby wipe. And I'll be back, because she'll be dry, and then we'll start playing with her. Okay, so love this, but then I had another thought. I don't want her to be blue. So what if I painted a little bit of this background, tan, beige, Titan buffish, and then stamped her again. And then I painted around her. All right, so that's what I'm thinking I might do. So this is, yeah. Hey, great, fabulous, but let's paint over her. So I'm thinking a little Titan buff over here. And hopefully a clean brush, otherwise she'll be Titan buff blue. And let's just kind of, actually she doesn't even need it in her hair. One moment, please. I guess we'll just kind of paint this general area. I know you're thinking, crazy lady. I am. Ew, what was that? Apparently she wasn't dry. So how about I let her dry? Or just wipe her off. Look at this mess I'm making. Isn't this nice? How about I just make a mess on camera? I'm going to dry her. And then I'm going to paint Titan buff. Or maybe I'll just not dry her and just wipe my paint off. Good times, people. Good times. Okay. Now, let's try this again. Titan buff on here. I'm thinking I might need to add a little bit of gesso in my Titan buff, almost just to make it opaque. But not only that, when you're underwater, aren't you like a weird see-through-y, whitish, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway. All right, I'm gonna let that dry. All right, so now let's try that again. It may appear to you like I'm making a hot mess, and clearly I am, but there is some method to my madness. So I'm gonna go over my stamp again with my Montana pen, and then stamp over that Titan buff and see what we get. All right, so I have dried her now, and I'm able to put some hair in, and she's beige instead of blue, so I don't have to paint her in. And I'm thinking of going around her with some phthalo turquoise. So let's find a little phthalo turquoise. And I'm just going to go around her, blending this beige part into this. I think I might even need some more teal. And maybe just a little bit more white, just in case it doesn't blend as nicely as I'm thinking. So maybe I'll just go in here and kind of frame her and just start blending her in with the background a little bit. Her, and I'm loving her. I might take some of this phthalo and that little bit of that retarder out more this way, just like kind of blotchier, just to bring some of that contrast through the book and not leave it so separate on the right side. So I'm just going to play around with throwing some more of that phthalo turquoise into the mix. So I really like the way that looks like water in the background. She's floating down. I think I'm going to use watercolor crayon, Neocolor 2s. I have this little satchel here, little Fleur Bully satchel, that has my face stuff in it. Anything I'll use for a face. Like if I want to go on the road, I just take this. So in here, there's all kinds of things, but watercolor pencils and my Stabilo white one, and as I choke, but also my color for face. Where's my raw umber? Is that my raw umber? There you are. Oh, I don't want that. I want my skin tone. So I've got my flesh toned color, Neo color 2. So I'm thinking about just going kind of around the outline of her face here. And then just watercoloring that color in. So I'll just take this. Just that flesh colored Caran d'Ache just changes it up and adds it so it's a little bit more depth to it. Now I'm not done working on her skin. I'll probably go in with maybe a raw umber and play with her lip color and stuff like that. But now I want to go in with her hair, and I'm thinking a glaze. Now I'm not going to actually wipe this glaze off. I'm just going to leave it, but I need a hair color, and I'm thinking burnt umber light. That might be nice. Nice brown. So burnt umber light, I'm just putting that on my palette there. And this is just a little glazing. So what that's going to do is make that paint really transparent. And hopefully allow me to kind of make it look like it's got some, you know, flowing as it's going down here. So I'm gonna just, I got my mix of glaze and color here. And I'm just gonna follow, I might even need a smaller brush, but follow kind of the movement of her hair. Color in there, and it's really kind of light, and I want to darken it up. So I'm going to take, I'm all over the place today. I'm taking some raw umber, which is a darker color, and I think I'm still going to take some of the retarder, so it takes a little bit longer to dry, and I'm going to go around the edges, kind of like I did with the teal here, or the turquoise. So just going to get some of my finger and just darken it up around the edges. So I've got the hair kind of texturized a little bit there, like that. And I am going to take a little bit of that raw umber now, and I'm just going to frame underneath. And instead of putting water, I'm just going to just rub my finger and just blend so it looks like it's a shadow of her hair underneath there. Just subtle, but just enough. Bit of a shadow, I had some boobage going on down there. She reminds me of a mermaid, someone just falling deeper, that's the one, into the water. Anyway, I'm just blabbering. I'm thinking I want to give her just a little bit of blush, and maybe some lips. So I'm going to take this color, which is actually, I think it's purplish pink. Yeah, purplish red. I probably should wipe the brown off of my fingertip with a baby wipe. And just fairly subtle with a little bit of baby wipe moisture. I'm going to rub that in. I'm thinking, I really like how she looks. A couple things I'm going to do. First thing I think, I'm going to take some anthraquinone blue, which is just a really deep, rich blue, and some more of that retarder, and just kind of go like around the edge of her again to shadow her, just to see what we get. Then I have another trick I want to do up my sleeve. So I'm just going to shadow her just right around with another blue, just to get that depth of color in there. And that retarder allows me to keep blending. Like the paint's not stuck where I put it. It allows me to move it a little bit longer. just going to go back into that brown again. I'm just going back and forth. I want to add that dark line to the edge again. I wonder if I should even go in with a darker, maybe a black. Oh, let's keep playing around. Alright, so you know what I did? I kind of added some of the anthraquinone blue and the brown, the burnt umber, it wasn't burnt, it was raw umber, together, and I made this dark brown kind of in there, so I love that. I'm thinking a little more detailing with just the shadowing here, and then I want to go over this with some tar gel. I know, crazy, I've never done this before, but I'm thinking I got blue paint on my girl's neck. Let's try to get that off. Or not. I've never done that before, so this could kind of be fun, or it could be disastrous, because I really like how she is, and who knows what we're going to get. So, let's see. I think she's good right there. Oh, she totally has blue, more blue on her neck. How about I stop playing with her in it? How about I just leave it like that, and she's just got this blue effervescence thing. Alright, so tar gel. Maybe I should dry this. I'm going to dry this so it's completely dry. And I'm going to put some tar gel. I've got to find, oh look, it's right here. Some tar gel on her. Now, what tar gel will do is kind of do this clear resin, shiny resin thing. Just so she'll stand out. So we're just going to see. Who knows? Who knows what we're going to get? Let me dry this. My vision for this is that she will kind of be raised in the sense that the tar gel will be sitting on top of her and she'll be shiny. Now the tar gel is not self-leveling, so wherever I put it is where it's going to stay. I just have to be very careful that I don't use too many brush strokes because I've got watercolor underneath here and I could reconstitute it and start blending. So I just want to be very, I guess, heavy-handed and a few brush strokes. So let's see how we do. Idea why the Montana pen kind of reconstituted under the tar gel, but I did try to fix it up. What's cool about it is that it did allow me to go back in and kind of clean it up with a brush. I don't think it destroys it totally. I mean, it does make her features a little bit blacker, but I'm just gonna go with it. I still like it, and I'm just gonna dry her, see what we get, and then come back. Alright, so I sat here with a hairdryer for about 15-20 minutes and dried this. I'm actually going to put a second coat on now that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to screw up anything I have underneath. I want to put a heavier, thicker, flatter, more consistent coat on top. She doesn't look so bad. I thought she was going to look a lot worse after I smudged her, but I was able to get in there and fix her. So I'm just going to go back on this and just add some more of the medium, a nice thick coat, because I want this to really, I guess, look embossed would be the best way to explain how I kind of want her to look. So I'll just be covering her up, and then I'll be back probably in an hour when she's dry, or after I answer the phone. Right, so okay, she's still kind of wet, and I'm just waiting for paint to dry. But I'm thinking I want to put this quote. Might be fun to put it there, or there, or there. Maybe I'll put it from the top. Maybe I'll put it from the bottom. I don't know. Maybe from the top. Anyway, it says, be still, stop thinking, feel, take action, visualize, repeat. I kind of like that. So I'm going to take my Montana pen again. And my dirty Montana pen. And I'm going to paint on the stamp. And then hopefully stamp in white. First time I'm doing this as well. So since it's all about the risks today, let's go for it. All right, I kind of got a partial stamp there. And I was going to stamp it again, but then I liked it. So I think I might just leave it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I like that it's not perfect. And I like that it's chunky. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I just continue it down. Maybe I'll do it again. Like below it. Crazy talk, right? I mean, just crazy. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna leave that. Okay, I'm gonna clean my stamp. Bye. She's still not totally dry, but I'm thinking I want a black stays on stamp or something. And I like this one. I was a Shakespeare major in college, as many of you already know. And this one is a quote, and it says, "To unpaved waters and undreamed shores." And I think I'm gonna put that on top of what I have there. And while that's still drying, I mean, that might not ever dry for all I know. But I have been heat gunning it on a cool setting. Not heat gun, I should say. I'm hair drying it on a cool setting. So let's see if we can't get this to go in here. It's not straight. That bothers me. But, so it seems. Maybe I'll put 3. Maybe I'll put, ooh, maybe I'll just go with the whole tiltiness and kind of do that. Alright, so I'm thinking, since she's kind of dry down here, I'll use some stays on. This one is one of mine that says, "Be brave." So let's see if I can get it to stay on. Kind of like that. That one was at least straight. I hate that over there, by the way. Might leave it, might not. Might think about it. Hope she dries soon. I'll do that. I gotta try to cover that up. I mean, I like the sentiment, but I don't like what I stamped it. So, I am going to, where's my clip? Try to cover that up by making what would look like white water, I guess. So, a little bit of blue, a little bit of, take that idea of this and make them bubbles. Alright, so I wrote a little bit of journaling on the typewriter, and you know, whatever. I'm going to put that in here. Little note to self about falling, a little, you know, personal journaling. Not that it's that private, but dang it, I forgot glue stick. I mean, glue again. So glue stick it is. So I'm just going to adhere those in there. Probably could use matte medium, but at this point, we're just going to glue those in. I'm going to put a little vintage photo around the edges in there, kind of bring in the hair color, just to dirty them up a bit. I got a lot of washi tape, so I'm thinking maybe just a little bit of washi tape so I can get off the roll. This one's got little circles on it, and it matches, so I thought it looked like the bubbles. And I'm just going to put little bits of it, I think, on here. I just put a little bit of Collage Podge on my palette pad because this washi tape, I know, doesn't like to stick permanently, so I'm just going to put a little bit on top to encourage it to stick permanently. I know it's crazy, but I'm almost contemplating I still want this on there. I do. I like that quote, and I think it goes. But, visually, do I like it? Do I like... Dang it. I want it in here. Maybe, ooh, maybe I'll just put it back there, and then it's hidden, and then I know it's there, and then I could do it like that, too. The risk and do it this way. Just making everything difficult today. See, it's in there. It's still crooked. I wonder if it's on here. It doesn't look like it's on here crooked. Maybe I'm just crooked. Who cares? It's on there. Now I feel better. It's not the focal point, especially since it's crooked. And I need to put the date on there. So maybe I'll put the date back here with it. Today is the 9th. And, oh, that one didn't even go on at all. There you go. Well, I gotta put 3 now. I know. It's like OCD. I mildly OCD now too. All right, so that's in there, and I think I'm done for today. I'm not gonna be able to close this book for a little while just because of the the tar gel, and I don't know if you can see it. It's the background is now kind of matte. I mean, it still is kind of shiny, but the background's matte, and she is like underwater. She's got this clear, shiny over her. I love that. And it's just kind of right here that it's still a little translucent. She should be clear, so she's obviously not cured. And by the way, that's a stroke of genius. I want to give myself my own little pat on the back of my bubbles that is covering my mistake. So I'm glad I got the quote in there, and I think I love her. And you know, even the fact that she's smudged when I put that pouring medium on there, it doesn't really ruin her. It makes her still look like she's underwater. So note to self, I don't know why. I'd love the power to be to tell me why, but that Montana pen reacted to the tart. It was dry. I mean, I painted and I rubbed the watercolor over it and still nothing happened. So I don't know. But you know, it looks like she's got eyelashes. She looks underwater. Anyway, I'm happy. Okay, that's it for today. I am finishing up all the stuff I need to do for the week because we have an inspired event, Paint Like an Artist, this weekend, and lots of my favorite people are going to be there. So anyway, that's it for today. All right, I'm going on the treadmill now. Peace out.